Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Simply Colorful FiberCast. Today's date is May 22nd, 2020. My name is Lynn Marquidant, and I am your host. Grab a project and let's sew together for the next 60 minutes. And before I go any further, I want to wish our birthday girl a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. Happy birthday to Judy. May 22nd. A day in infamy. I don't have the right words, but we're glad you were born, Mommy. Okay, so we are quilting again. I a few weeks ago, as you may recall, I said that we were going to do another mystery quilt, and I suggested that it be for graduates that are going through this COVID crisis because they're missing out on a lot. And so maybe we should give them a little more love and give them quilts. And I've made some quilts. And in fact, I'll show you one that I'm giving to a neighbor this weekend. I'll show you that in a minute. But a couple of weeks ago, I posted on Patreon that we were going to make one and to pick two colors. And I was going to post it starting May 1st. Well, Misty out in Colorado, hi, Misty. She wrote to me and she said, "Where's the mystery?" And she's right. I fell down on the job. I did design the quilt. This is it. And I did start to make these squares, which are these squares. Yeah. So I started to make it and I was not inspired. I pulled out my colors. I think I may have mentioned this on one of our previous broadcasts that I'm doing maroon and gold, and maybe it's the colors that aren't doing it for me. It just seems so masculine, and it is for a female graduate. The good news is that she hasn't graduated yet, so we have a little time, but I still want to do one in these maroons and golds, but I just couldn't get excited about this one. Whoops. So what I've done is I have posted the actual EQ file onto Patreon. Hi, Mom. Hi, Misty. I posted this on Patreon, and so anyone is welcome to make it. So it's not a mystery. And what I thought I would do instead, because I've been inspired by some other quilters, is I'm going to do a quilt as you go, a design as you go quilt using these colors. And I've really been inspired by both my sister KB, who designs on her wall and designs her quilt as she goes. And I've watched her do that, as well as another quilter over in Milford, Sarah, who I just did a quilt for her that was stunning. And it was designed in a round robin type format, but it all went together. There were some design repeats, and I just thought, I just want to give it a try. So that's what we're going to do. Hello, Stitchy Home. Hello, Becca. Oh, good. You got the quilting back. Like to send it to me for quilting. Expect around tomorrow. Okay, absolutely. I'll look for your email. Great. Thank you, Becca. Oh, and I should, before we go any further, happy Memorial Day to everyone. And thank you to all of veterans out there and everyone who has helped to keep us safe and worked along with us. So I also posted this picture meant to get you jazzed up a little bit. Don't forget to show live. Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you, Cherish. I pulled out what they call a curling iron. I thought I would try that. My hair has been driving me crazy, but thank you for noticing. It's just so thin. Okay, so here's the first thing. Well, and I've tried a lot. I tried to get inspired about this over the last few weeks on our open sews at our Patreon open sews. You know, we do them on Wednesday and Saturday. So any patrons who are out there who might not have checked in, definitely come say hi. We had Sherry come. She clicked in from she's a pharmacist, and she was at her job. She couldn't come on Wednesday, nor can she come tomorrow. So we were sewing away on Wednesday, having a grand old time with Carol. And I have to tell you about Carol Lewin. I hope you're feeling better, Carol Lewin, and Carol Bell and Sue. And we were sewing away, and all of a sudden up popped Sherry from the pharmacy to say hi to us. So that was nice. And she's out there, a frontline worker, helping helping people stay well and get well. So anyway, on those open sews, if you're a patron, definitely come play with us. On those open sews, I've been playing with these colors. So one week, I made these. They're called bat wings. And I thought that would be kind of fun. And they're paper piece, but they're just a little too big. And I didn't love it. And I don't, you know, maybe if it was half the size, that might be interesting. And then I watched Fons and Porter last Sunday. And they were doing a quilt where they were making a triangle. Maybe you saw it. And they cut it in half and then flipped it and sewed it back together. So now I'm kind of playing with that idea, taking blocks that I make and then cutting them and then seeing what I can do. So that's what I did next was I just did my 9 patches because you know I love my 9 patches. This one has the reds in the corner. This one has the golds in the corner. And I sliced them in half and then I put a 1-inch strip and then a matching triangle on the bottom. And I knew that I would be cutting off these squares, but I kind of wanted to see what would happen. So it almost looks like eyes or, and some of them, you know, when they started with the red in the corner, we have 2 yellow eyes. If you started with yellow in the corner, we have 2 red eyes. So then I was playing with things we could do with them. You know, that, but if that, why wouldn't we just sew them all together? Oh, I know what I was doing. I was doing this maybe, and then this. We could do that. So you get where I'm going with this. I'm just going to try and play. Try and play with them. I actually kind of liked this one and this one. I kind of liked that, knowing that those would all be cut off, but that was kind of neat to look at. So that's what I'm doing is I'm playing with squares. And just before we came on, I had an idea. Oh, and then, well, we'll introduce other colors because again, it was just it's looking a little too masculine to me. Here's what I want to try. I want to take one of these that's yellow and one that's red in the corners, right? And I want to cut them kind of like the disappearing 9 patch. I want to cut them down let's do one way at first and then sew them together and see what that looks like. And then maybe cut them again. Just might be something different to do. So that's what I'm into is playing. I just could not seem to be into, following the pattern. Oh, and here's another graduate quilt. So same type of thing. Maybe, let's see, was it Sunday? Either last Saturday or Sunday, I started to cut out squares for DeAndre, who is graduating from high school. Did I show you this? It just started out as 5-inch squares. So it's just another scrap quilt, and it's got Minky on the back, and I used Hickory Dickory, the quilting. So this is for a high school graduate, and he's tall, so I made it tall and thin. And I just have to make the label, and then I will give it to him. I think I'm going to put it in quarantine for a few days or give it to his mother, and then they can decide when to give it to him. So that's another grad quilt, a COVID grad quilt. What are you making? I know Becca is has I think a niece maybe. Hey, Caitlin. Hi, Caitlin. Hi, James. Oh, you're at Glim. Hi, guys. I wish it was there. Enjoy your weekend. How exciting. Whoo. Is Liz there too? Aw. So cool to see you. Well, as you can tell, I'm not making a Holy Cross quilt. Okay, so what we're going to do is, but I don't discriminate. So I'm going to cut this in half. See, so I've cut that one in half, and then I'm going to cut this one in half, and let's see what we can do with this. Oh, that's kind of neat. And that's going to be very thin once I sew it together. I like that a lot. The question is, and you know what? If I keep it just like that, that could be a whole border around my square once I figure out my square. I'm going to do that. So let's just sew these together. Let me make sure my iron is on. Oh, and I have so many people I want to say hi. Oh, hi, Sue. And Karen, hello. I'm so glad you're out there. And Marcella Fisher out in Arkansas. Will be on the lookout for your quilt. And Cindy, if you're out there, and Sarah. Oh, one problem with this is the seams aren't lining up. That stinks. They're not nestling. I wonder what happens if I do this. That's just putting them side by side, isn't it? Oh, that's kind of neat, because then we'd have the big ones on the inside. And do they nestle? Nope, they don't nestle. Do you know what I mean by nestling? So on both of these, I have ironed the seam out of the middle square out on both of these. So when I put them together, all four of those seams are facing out and they're not nestling. A better thing would be, I just turned it around. This seam is ironed that way. The bottom seam is ironed that way. And so when you put them together, they nestle. But you know what? That's okay. I'm going to forego the nestling because I like the look of this. And I might as well mix up as well as I can. Okay. Oh, happy Memorial Day. Come on, baby. There's that. Do this. Well, a shout out to CJ. Now that I know you guys are out there, I'm psyched. I wanted to shout out to thank you for sharing your iPad with Aunt Susie last Saturday. That was very kind of you, and I appreciate it. We appreciated it. And I wanted to know how your golfing went. I just dropped this. It was great to see everyone. Okay, so I'm going to iron this open, I think. Go. Oh, I bet it's beautiful on the vineyard tonight. There's one. Okay, and there's another one. No, oh, I see what I did. That'll make a cool border. Cool border indeed. I think I want to make more of these because I can imagine 4 of them. I want to play with that a little bit more. And then I had a couple of I really want to give the eye some places to rest. I don't want it all lots of little squares. So then I was thinking, and again, this is for a young college grad. I love these hearts, black and white hearts. And I have a fair amount of it, a couple, 2 yards. And then I have this one, which kind of looks old lady-ish, but it goes, the fabric goes, the color goes. So I could play with that. And then I found this, which came from Sarah Kokanowski. So Seuss, this is some fabric that Sarah gave me from her stash that has some gold and black. So I thought if we introduced black, this could also be introduced somehow, and we could use it for the stripes. So, and I have more scraps all around me. So that's what I'm thinking. And then I got all carried away looking at the black scraps. They just look so much more contemporary. Black and white. Hi, Leah. Happy Friday. I must have the computer a little bit further away from me tonight because I can't seem to see it. I love this one. Look at the cats. With the little red, that would really be whimsical. So you see where I'm going? Oh, that's kind of cool. So I think I'm just going to keep this out, kind of like a palette, and we'll know that it's there. Now, I also have, speaking of palette, I also have these stripes, which could definitely, it looks like someone made a curtain out of it. Let's try this. It was a curtain at one point. Oh, that might be hard to see, but with striped fabric, you can really let it do the work for you. But then, hang on. Remember this one I did? I want to show you one. The one I did a few weeks ago. Remember this one? And you knew I was going to pull this out, where I used the striped fabric to go around the blocks. And I really liked how that came out. So maybe if you find something that works, I might try that with this fabric. I think I'm definitely going to do that. Let's cut a little bit and see what it looks like. Okay. Of course, we don't have too much of it, but this is the quilt. You might remember I cut up one of Uncle Bob's shirts. This is his corduroy shirt that you probably have seen him wear at Christmas. That is in this square right here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. I'm going to do a little binge watching this weekend of the show Billions. I think that's what I'm going to do. I went up the street. At the top of the hill, we have two relatively small nurseries, plant nurseries. And I got there early, and there wasn't much selection, but especially of herbs, there wasn't much. But I bought some things, and I've planted most of it already, and it feels great. So all I have to do is water it this weekend. I actually got celery, 4 things of celery. It wasn't until I got it home that I realized it wasn't parsley. I thought it was flat leaf parsley, but it's celery, and the leaf tasted delicious. So I'm looking forward to that. They're pretty big stripes, but that's okay. See, I want it, that'll add pizzazz. Pizzazz, pizzazz. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Okay, 1.5 inches. I also have 1.5 inches of these. But it would be cool to do 1.5 inches. That's too big. Of this black. We're living on the edge. Although there's not enough contrast there. So I'm going to take that back. And just a darker black. Then it'll look really masculine. Like this up. Do 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 do. No, you know what? Going back to our really white here. Not very good pod. What are you all working on? Send me pictures at lynn@simplycolorful.com. And if you want the EQ file, become a patron. Carol Bell. Yes. Lynn, have you thought about doing a medallion quilt, 4 of the blocks? Yes. I think that's what I want to do. That's a great idea, Carol. Like, do you mean 4 of these? Thought if I did 4 of those and then started going around it with my other borders. And maybe I use this or something to break up. Ooh, that could be awful, couldn't it? But we're going to try it. All right, we're going to just cut 1/4 of an inch here. So I hope you all are going to get some gardening in and some cookouts. Anyone made any good recipes? KB, hi KB. And Sharon, oh, Marcella's out there. Oh, good. I'm so excited. It was so nice to talk to you. Poor Bob heard me cursing because after I missed your phone call, the first phone call. Then when I called you back, and then you went to measure the quilt, and I said I'd be right here at the phone. And then, of course, as soon as I hung up, I went into the other room, I think, to put my contacts on. And I realized I left my phone here. And then you called, and I missed you. And I just felt so bad. So I'm glad we connected. Really glad. It was really nice to talk to you. Okay. This is nice fabric. I wonder who made it. Robert Kaufman. Ann Kelly for Robert Kaufman. I wonder if it has a date. Nope, not that I can see. I mean, some of these fabrics have dates, and it makes me feel so old because I like them. Like there was one here. This is Wyndham Fabrics. I could have sworn this one said 2009. Then I started dating my plants outside. Not dating as in going out to dinner. I hope that made you laugh. Not dating as in going out to dinner, but dating my plants by timing. And I have 3 white azalea bushes that we bought before Shy and Joe's 50th wedding anniversary, which we had in our backyard. And that was in 2009. So those plants are 11 years old and they're beautiful. They love it. So that was a fun little discovery today. Yay. Okay. Oh, and I have I 2 bags of clothing here that I have to get into a memory quilt. I have to start laying it out. I'll show you the bags. Both of these bags are full of clothes. And they have some unique things, like this has some nice lattice. So, have to do that. We're making a queen size quilt. And I've already sized it out. I think each square will be 9 inches or 10 inches. So it'll be very manageable. We're going to put a heart in the middle. We're going to applique a heart. And well, look at this. Half an hour in and we finally sewed a seam. Maybe our 3rd seam. Okay. Hi to Christine. And to Jean and Lima and Kelsey and Joyce. KB, Joyce wrote to me before this and she said she bought 3 of those Cafe jelly rolls. She had to buy 3 to get free shipping. Isn't that classic? That made me laugh. So if anyone is interested in blue Cafe jelly rolls, providing they're still available, Missouri Star has them on sale for almost half price today on their daily deal. See, I kind of like this. I can just eyeball the cutting. So I'm putting these both on the ends. You know, this is the fun part. Replicating them all will be not so much fun, but I'll make it fun. Okay. And we want to cut these 1.5 by 1.5. Oh, Carol Bell, I think that's a great idea, the medallion. Okay, so those are cute. We'll do this. Okay, so there's that. And I know this won't have as much contrast as maybe we want, but that's okay. And look at this, I don't have enough to do 2 of them all the way across, and I don't want to cut it again. So, and I had some of these. Check this out. So, let's do this. Instead of having it in the corners, first off, let's see how much we have left here. Huh. I'm going to be pretty proud of myself. So, okay. So I have only this much left for each corner. So I'm going to start it in the corner and go over. And then I'm going to put 1 of these here and here. Or maybe this one looks good because it has a heart, a full heart. There and there. And then the question is, do I finish it out with a gold, or better still, what if I finish it out with a maroon and then stack these, again doing another new. Too much going on. Okay, we're going to save that. We'll go back to having our white and our white and our white. How about this? We have a lot of this. Here we go. So let me measure this. Remember when you're doing this to always add 1/4 inch on each side. So it's 6 5/8. So I need 2 6 5/8. One, two, three, four, five, 6. Five eighths. Okay. Seem to have lost one of the white squares. Where did that go? I flipped it somewhere, didn't I? There it is. Okay, so now we want to sew these together. There. Sue Norton, if you're out there, we miss you on Wednesdays. Cherish, dial in and say hi to us. Okay, I'm trying to keep the hearts going out on both sides because it. Okay, now I think I won't even iron them yet. I'll just nest my seams, right? So this. Oh, I need to show you the string piecing that we did last week. It was so nice, Linda, to see you're doing string piecing. It's a great way to use up scraps, isn't it? Okay. Of course, if you'll use more scraps if you make your strings better than 1/2 inch, which I should have learned. These are the ones. Last week, we made that one. And then over the weekend, I used the same inner fabric that was in a quilt we gave to Mom 31 years ago for her birthday. And then there are 2 more. So if I keep going, it could make a cute little baby quilt, I think. Be sweet. In fact, I think that's what I will do. Okay. So let's see what this block looks like. I'll iron it. And I like the idea of doing the medallion in the center. Okay, now we're getting there. I like this. It's a little more modern. And again, it's all about repetition. So I think once we see a lot of those around, but I'll focus on the medallions at first. The medallion in the middle. And then go from there. So, what are you all working on? Have I said hi to everyone? Cherish, Leah, Carol, with several borders around it. Yep, I will. What's the email? If you want to send me a question, it's lynn@simplycolorful.com. If you want to join the Open Sew, go to patreon.com/simplycolorful and join us there. Cherish says, I forgot about Wednesday. Tomorrow we are going to the mountains. Well, enjoy the mountains. That sounds much better than sewing at home with your virtual friends. Enjoy every minute. Good. Well, the links, just one more time, I don't want to bore people, but the links are on Patreon for the Wednesday Open Sew and the Saturday Open Sew. And Becca, maybe a brighter red would make it more feminine. That's a great idea too. That's a great idea. I have this. Yeah. Yeah, so it doesn't have as much these black in it, right? I thought this was fun. This is a shiny one that I'm going to put in. And then I saw, did you see, this one is a velvet. So I did want it to be very eclectic and way out there. Basically, I wanted to have so much going on and so many different eclectic things that the person's eye goes around and around and you don't get obsessed about how corners don't match, if that makes sense. We'll see. I think that's all I have. Did I say hi? I wanted to make sure I said hi to everyone. Hi to Bonnie. Hi to Pat. Hi to Alex. Hi to Michelle Banton. And again, hi to everyone out there. I want you to have a wonderful weekend. Be safe. Do the social distancing. Wear your masks. Please wear your masks. And enjoy the weather and enjoy the flowers and everything that comes with it. And enjoy family and friends. Okay. See you next Friday night right here on FiberCast. And until then, bye everyone. Happy Memorial Day.